Shaun of the Dead is getting on 20 years old if you can believe it, 19 at the time of recording, but since the entertainment industry has gone and crapped itself over the last few months, I thought what better time than now to go to the Winchester, grab a nice cold pint and wait for all this to blow over.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
That's right, we're taking a look at one of cinema's most iconic watering holes, the infamous Winchester Tavern, the primary setting of the film in which the characters spend all their time and money and seek solace during the zombie uprising. The Winchester Tavern is one of those settings that's really resonated with fans, and one guy even made a Lego set of it. Either way, I thought it would be a bit of fun to go and visit the location, see how much things have changed, and get a little bit of background behind the inspiration for the place. First off, the interior. Now, the interior was built as a set and filmed in the world-famous Ealing Studios in West London. There it was, probably. Ealing Studios is the third oldest film studio in the world. It's been running since 1902 and has quite the history to show for it. It's famous as the home of some classic comedies such as The Lady Killers and Passport to Pimlico, as well as famous TV comedies such as Porridge and Monty Python's Flying Circus. Nonetheless, the Winchester is not there anymore because that's how film sets work. Right, let's go and find the exterior location. The majority of exterior filming took place across the Crouch End, Highgate and Finchley areas of North London. Coincidentally, this also happened to be where Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg and Nick Frost lived at the time. The exterior of the Winchester, however, was filmed all the way down in New Cross Gate, that's South East London. The art department must have replaced the signage on the front of the building and on the post outside. It looks like they used the same post that still stands there today. They also appear to have given the exterior a coat of paint to better suit the colour scheme of the film. The pub at the time had a blue paint job, probably in support of Millwall Football Club. And funnily enough, it looks like the red telephone box was actually there on the location and not dressed in like I thought it was. Another thing of note is how much this street has changed over the last 20 years. It's barely recognisable. Also, I'd never realised quite how much smoke was bellowing out of this car. It's effective though, the shot looks great. Another thing to note is that the garden in the beginning of this crane shot was actually filmed at a different location and then conned onto the crane shot of the pub location to tie them both together. Yeah, if you look the other way, there's just a bit of an empty playground. I mean, perfect place to park a cherry picker. Sadly, the pub closed down in 2005 and was converted into flats by 2009. This conversion also meant that the curved facade also got demolished. This is a real shame because it served as a pub since 1895, or at least that's what it says on pubhistory.co.uk. So sadly, no chance of getting back for shots at this Winchester. But it is said that the setting of this film is loosely based on Pegg, Frost and Wright's lifestyle at the time. And it turns out there is a real Winchester in Highgate. Surely it's based on that place, right? The Winchester Tavern was built in 1881 and designed by William B. Brown as part of a distinctive set of terrace houses which spans a long section of the street and is notable for its arched balconies. It operated as the Winchester Hall Hotel over the course of the 20th century, but eventually went out of business in 2014 and was eventually sold off into flats. I see a pattern forming here. But no! Even though the hotel rooms were sold off for development, the local opposition to converting the pub was fierce. CAMRA, the Campaign for Real Ale, put it on their list of nationally historic pub interiors due to the intricate woodwork and the central glazed publican's office. Although the hotel rooms did get turned into apartments, a combination of CAMRA's efforts and local opposition led to the Winchester Tavern reopening to the public in 2022 under new management.
Yay!
Much of the glazing has been replaced and freshened up for the reopening, the interior has been lovingly restored, and the place is once again a favourite with the locals. And if anyone wants to know where the Winchester name comes from, it's not actually from the rifle company. It comes from Winchester Hall, a mansion that used to stand on nearby Highgate Hill. But what's that I hear? There's another pub nearby that's relevant to the film we're talking about. That's right, a 5-minute walk up Archway Road will take you to the Boogaloo, a pub and music venue that was established in 2002. It was previously a pub called the Shepherds, which interestingly appears to have changed its name around the same time they were making the film. The building's been there since 1871 and interestingly, a little bit like the Duke of Albany, it has an extended front facade. Was this architectural feature a factor in the choice of location? Probably not. It has been confirmed in interviews this is where the trio used to frequent while penciling out the script for the film. Nick Frost apparently used to make up stories about the regulars to make Simon Pegg laugh, a little bit like in the film. As a music venue, it has hosted The Pogues, Baby Shambles, Libertines and Chris Martin from Coldplay, who incidentally has a cameo in Shaun of the Dead. See, I am keeping on point. It also has an online radio station, Boogaloo Radio, which is the first radio station ever run out of a pub. The Boogaloo hosts regular events each week including a pub quiz and a comedy night. So if you're in London and you're visiting filming locations, you have more than one option for somewhere to go and grab a cold pint and wait for all this to blow over. Yes, that's right, I made that reference again, get over it. Either way, you can indeed visit the place that may or may not have influenced the name of the pub in the film. You can also visit the place where the writers used to go and spend all their time and money and seek solace in the lead up to the zombie uprising. Film blogger Almost Ginger has made an interactive map of all the different filming locations of the film if you're interested in that kind of thing. Link is in the description. Now, bringing this back to set design, that being the theme of the channel and everything, why did I choose this? Well, one, I thought it'd be good to tie it into two pubs I already know about. Two, more importantly, I want to show a truly iconic piece of production design. The Winchester Tavern is not the fanciest bar in a movie. It's not particularly large in scope, it's not particularly intricate. It is not a throne room from a fantasy movie, and it's not some kind of hyper-stylised Wes Anderson backdrop. The Winchester Tavern is a run-of-the-mill pub with outdated decor and bad carpets. From the opening scene, you know you've been into a bar like this, or you know a place like it in your town. Efforts were made to create a believable space, and inspiration was taken from real pubs to sell it to audiences. Everything from the jukebox to the old-fashioned fuse cupboard to the cellar. There are design and dressing decisions here that are made from real-life experience, and that's why 20 years later, I'm here on the internet talking about it in detail. Think about that next time you're putting a set together. It can be the most mundane places that become the most iconic. It's not always about making the most beautiful space, but it's about making a space that feels like it exists. And that kind of thing makes all the difference. That's why I wanted to show some appreciation to the art department of Shaun of the Dead, headed up by production designer Marcus Rowland, art director Karen Wakefield, and set decorator Liz Griffiths. Credited here as set dresser, but I think that's because they're using the American system. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this and found it interesting. If so, do please leave us a like and consider subscribing. If you'd like to see more videos in the future about filming locations, please leave a comment. Thank you very much to Ealing Studios, the Boogaloo, and the Winchester for letting us film on their premises. And also thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. Hope to see you again on the Set Design channel. Thank you very much. Bye.